Happy FLOSSMAS, everyone! Welcome to FLOSSMAS Day 18. My name is Kari, and this is Tiger Lily Designs. Thanks for joining me on this Saturday morning. I can't believe we're less than a week away, and then FLOSSMAS is over. Are you sad? I'm kind of sad. But let's not focus on that. Let's have some fun today. I've got something super excited to show you. But first, let's open up the Kitten Stitcher Advent, as we always do. Another squishy one. Let's see. I'm thinking it's floss. I wonder if it's another. Don't want to guess. Oh, it's a couple of them. Ooh, limited editions. Let's see. Those are always fun. I love that Gentle Arts does these limited. Oh no, they don't have names on them. Mysteries. Well, they're beautiful. Let me show you. It's a nice, very nicely variegated green and a kind of rusty red. Definitely got the rust in the, rusty red, I would think. Rusty burgundy, but it's a nice limited edition. Doesn't tell me what the colors are called, even though they're only, well, they're very pretty. I can't wait to add them to my thread wall. Perfect. All right, so let's get into the good stuff. So today's featured designer, as I told you guys a while ago, a couple of the featured designers are gonna make a comeback, meaning they had so many great designs that I couldn't decide which one I wanted to share with you. So they got 2 days and I got to share 2 of them with you. And one of those designers is Emily Call. And let me show you if you remember. I don't ever remember what day she was. I should remember, but she was a while ago, definitely early on. And did I bring the pattern? Nope, sure didn't. But you'll see. So her business is called Salt and Pepper Stitching, and she had a super sweet Santa. And she had a couple, that was the one I showed you before. And this is the one I wanted to show you today. Look at that Coco Crazy, that snowman. He's so cute. Then she has these cute little Santa and snowman, a little merry trio in an ornament setting. Oh my gosh, if you have a cat, how cute is that? You could totally change the cat to whatever color your sweet kitty cat is. I want a dog one. Emily, can you make it happen? That's a tiger lily. Oh, now I got all messed up. All right, so then we've got this sweet little snowman. He's stitched on this light blue fabric. I'd probably put him on something a little darker so that white body would pop, pop, pop. And then I wanted to go ahead, I know, not holiday, but look at that sweet ghost. So what I really like, oh my gosh, and this turkey. Look at that thankful turkey. He's just a fun little not cartoony. He's just really, really cute and sweet. And then they're all, what I really like about her shop, she has a small shop. And she remembers she was a mom from Utah, Salt and Pepper Stitching with the twins. Yeah, maybe that jogs your memory. But she has, what I really like about her designs and her presentation is that she stitches them all. As we know, sometimes with the computer generated, and now I understand. Listen, if you are just a designer and you design, you know, computer images is what you got, and you can't stitch it all. You just keep designing. And I appreciate that too. But I appreciate that Emily actually stitches. I'm assuming she stitches. I don't know if she's got a model stitcher yet. But everything that she shows you is actually a stitched piece. So you can actually see a little bit more, I think, than a computer generated image. So I'm here for that. And she's got some great designs. I will link to her down below. I don't want to forget what the word of the day today is. Today's word of the day is Coco. Remember, just from the Coco Crazy right there. Coco is the word of the day. So make sure you use that in your comment down below. And you'll be entered to win the PDF giveaway for that pattern for today, as well as, of course, the grand prize giveaway for later on. So I didn't do stitching. Obviously, I'm showing you the pattern. It's super great. And I know that, don't get mad at me, but I know that in days past, I have done an hour stitching on each of the patterns that I share with you. Okay, and so I was gonna stitch that snowman. I promise I was. And because I kitted him up, he uses a lot of the same colors as this other pattern did. But I decided that, again, instead of starting yet another whip, although that's fun, last night I finished this guy. I don't want to show it to you yet because I want to tell you a little bit of story. So I finished him last night doing my hour, maybe an hour and a half. So this guy took a total of 2.5, well, I'll be generous, 2.5 hours just to stitch up. Super sweet, super fast. I'm using a 14 count Aida hand-dyed pink fabric that I hand-dyed, and I stitched him up last night. Great, done. I was like, I'm gonna show him. Well, this morning, I had to get up at 5 o'clock this morning. I know, Saturday morning, can you believe that? It's because we're going to a family little Christmas luncheon with some of my family and my extended family that we won't be able to see next weekend. So we're seeing them today instead. And so, as my daughter said, that's not really Christmas. I'm bringing pulled pork. And because when you're feeding like 15, 20 people and you're bringing the main dish, I can either do my baked lasagnas. Okay, tangent. Anyway, so I had to get up this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to tend to the pulled pork for 20. So I was working on that. And so I was like, you know, I'm gonna finish him. And so I took him downstairs. I clocked myself. It took me 1 hour from when I walked downstairs to my studio and from when I walked back upstairs. The finishing, the whole, like, making a mess, cleaning the mess, and doing the project took me an hour to finish this. I'm not gonna lie. But I think it turned out so sweet. Do you see? So do you remember him? I don't even remember what day he was from. Oh, I wish I do. Hold on, let me see if I can get you a background so he'll actually pop a little bit. I think he turned out so sweet. I just was beside myself this morning, you know, coming upstairs, super excited. So lucky for you, well, maybe not, if you want to see, I filmed a time-lapse video. Like I said, it took me an hour. This is not an hour-long video at the end of this video. I time-lapsed it. It's about 3 or 4 minutes. I did a little voiceover to tell you what I'm doing. If you have any desire to finish this way, this was better than me doing an hour-long make with me video. So hopefully there's enough details and you can see enough that if you wanted to make this, you could. But so, like I said, it's on 14 count Aida, stitched by me. I used most of her called for threads, but not all of them. What's sweet about, so you can't, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Oh yeah, see his little mustache? She puts shadowing in the white. So it's not, you can see maybe just a little bit of gray. It's just to give it a little dimension. See, oh, you can see right there in his hat. See, it's got a white stripe and then it's got a little tiny gray stripe just to give him a little dimension. It's just the details in her design that I really, really love and appreciate. I'm trying not to blow out the pink. There it is, not blown out. So I finished him. He's stitched up. His sticky board that he's on is 3 1/4 by 5. No, I'm sorry, 3 3/4 by 5 is what the stitch piece is on. And then I've got 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is the double mat. So I just finished it kind of like a stitching with the Housewives interpretation of how they finish it. It's definitely like a tweak on that. You know, it's just 2 sticky boards sandwiched together. I did a sweet little wooden hang tag charm. It's threaded or it's held together with some grosgrain ribbon. Like I said, I'll show you guys all the details of how to do this in the video. And then it's got 3 layers of ribbon. And then this sweet little, I mean, when I went into my button jar, I didn't know, I was like, cover button? that was one extra step I wasn't really wanting to do this morning, but I found this sweet. So obviously when I upcycle sweaters for my gnomes, I end up with lots. Sometimes those sweaters have buttons, and this, if you can see, it has some texture. It's made of sweater and yarn. It's a sweet little sweater button. And I thought that was a perfect little pop for him. So I just can't wait. I think he's adorable. I hope you do too. So today's grand prize giveaway that I'm adding to the box. Now, if you remember, I don't remember what day it is, but I did just check and it is in there. Pink Ada is in there. My pink Ada that I stitched, that is this fabric. I don't remember the size, but it's plenty big enough for this little guy, is in the grand prize giveaway box. And I didn't even know that because I made, to add to the box today, another ribbon. So this is another one of the hang times, just so we can be twinsies. So this, I didn't cut the edges just in case you wanted to leave them long or short, or you didn't want the point. Anyway, I left that unfinished. You can just cut the ribbon, but otherwise he is ready to go on a stitched piece. Whether it's this one, or, you know, they're pretty standard Christmas colors, so you might be able to add it to any ornament you've got going on. But that is what I'm putting in the grand prize giveaway today to share with you guys. And that's what I've got. That's today's FLOSSMAS, kind of short and sweet, but I am going to add the little finish with me video. You can do a little time lapse and watch the magic happen on my design table. And that's what I've got for you today. So happy FLOSSMAS Day 18. It's crazy. Thanks so much for all your sweet kinds and words and for following me. I'd love for you to come and join me over on Instagram. I've got lots of fun happening over there. I'm working on my plans. Crazy weekend ahead, but I hope you're gonna have a great day. Get some stitching in and I'll see you tomorrow. Today I'm going to take you along to finish my sweet ornament. I gathered all my supplies, ribbons and wooden balls and fabrics, and I made a mess on my design table and then decided, better clean it up before I get started. So here I am just organizing all the options that I had pulled out to see what was going to work best for the ornament. I've got it all figured out, and then we're going to get started on putting it together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the piece, and measured 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So I ended up cutting my sticky board 3 3/4 by 5. And so what I do is I definitely mat a batting on the back of my sticky board, and I mark the center so it's easy for me to center the graphic. And then I'm going to mark center lines on the graphic using pencils, so then you'll see later on how it makes it so much easier to turn it around. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to realize that I hadn't plugged in my glue gun and go plug that in. I've got my sticky board from Joann's that I'm using. I use a different rotary cutter just for sticky board, not my fabric one, a special one just for boards. So I've got this great gingham fabric. It's just from Walmart. I could use a good one, but you know, it's just the back of an ornament. So I always put my check on a diagonal because I think that looks fun. So I've got them all figured out centered. I take them over to the ironing board and iron them up. And then I'm going to glue them down, and I'm going to use a pencil to get into those tight corners just to make sure that the corners get nice and tight and crisp. And I'm going to do that with both the front and the back sticky boards. You'll see later on how I put it together. Let's see. So I put those all together, and that's off to the side. And so now it's time to get the piece mounted on the board. So again, I've got my center hash lines. I'm matching up all those center lines, those 4 points. So that way, when I'm centering with the glue gun, it's easy, and I know that the Santa is perfectly centered on the front of the board. So again, I'm paying close attention to the corners. They're not quite so tight because there's the bulk of the batting and all of that, but I do like a nice tight corner. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I've got my beads, and I thread a big tapestry needle with some gingham ribbon, and I make the bead top wire. So that way I ended up measuring and figured out that 7 beads was the one. I used gingham ribbon on the inside to string it because you are going to see just a little bit of it. I used double width. Now I've moved on to making the button. So I've got some ribbons, and I'm just going to build a ribbon on top of a ribbon on top of a ribbon. I found this super sweet upcycled sweater button. It looks like it had a little snowflake, yarn snowflake center button. I thought that was going to be the perfect accent. It's just building the ribbon. I'm using some floral wire to wrap it to make sure that it's nice and tight and holds. So I used the floral wire. I attached the ribbon build on top of the ribbon, used just a little bit of glue gun to attach that sweater button to the center. And now it's time to put it all together. So of course, you know, you glue gun the hang tag, you can see to the middle, and then I'm going to sandwich the two front and back boards together. Then I'm going to put some glue on the actual piece, taking close to consideration just to make sure you smush it good. Then I'm going to attach the bow, and she's going to be ready. I think she turned out so sweet. I hope you like her.